Hello. You're wet. There is a spooky Shakespeare play that's called a name that we refuse to say at all. By we, I mean the superstitious folk of theater people who do not joke about these kinds of things. We do not say the name of Shakespeare's cursed Scottish play, because that is what we call the play instead, for fear that we could end up hurt or dead. We think the name jinxes us with bad luck, and now you may be thinking, what the why are you so afraid, on pain of death, to say the name of Shakespeare's play, Macbeth? That is the subject of this vlog today, to explain the curse, and then what better way to make a Shakespeare vlog than to render in rhyming iambic pentameter the entire video. So it's no fluke that the last line of this intro rhymes with spook. So first things first, what is this play about? I'll try to make this video without saying the names of its two leads, and so I'll say Mackers, or Scotsman, for, you know, the title character, and Lady M is what I'll call his wife. So both of them are who the play's about, and Mackers is a lord in medieval Scotland, and his story begins when he meets three witches. The Harry Potter nerd in me itches to tell you that the band in the fourth book is named after these witches. If you look here in the script, you'll see that they are called Weird Sisters, and the band at the Yule Ball is called that too. So anyway, Mackers and his friend Banquo meet the Weird Sisters, who prophesy that Mackers will be king. But he cannot imagine such a thing, because first King Duncan would then have to die. But then his wife hears this and says, "Oh my, don't be afraid to murder King Duncan. Don't let your high ambition be shrunken by cowardly fear." And so the Scotsman kills Duncan, but the fresh blood on his hands chills him, and he starts to lose his mind and go insane, and he gets paranoid, and so he also murders Banquo, because when the three witches did prophesy to him, they also said that Banquo would soon be the father of a line of kings, so he was murdered by the Scotsman to defeat the prophecy, so he could claim his seat as king and father of kings all at once. But still not satisfied, he then confronts the witches and he asks them what they know about his future kingly prospects. So they tell him to beware of Lord Macduff. And this warning scares poor Mackers enough to massacre every person within the walls of Macduff's castle, all his kin, his wife and children, and his servants too. And this is when Lady M starts to rue the bloodshed, and she starts to lose her mind. She sleepwalks, and she cannot seem to find a way to purge her conscience of this guilt. And meanwhile, Duncan's son begins to tilt the scales in favor of his rightful reign by mustering English troops to be the bane of Mackers and his bloody wicked rule. And the army's led by Seward. Pretty cool, because he was a real person, and his son was a real person too. He is the one who dies to Mackers later in the play, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, Seward leads the army to Mackers' lair. It's getting pretty grisly over there, because Lady M just killed herself, and so the Scotsman takes this as a major blow to his sense of purpose. He gives a speech about how life has no meaning and each day passes in a petty pace till death. Now newly nihilist, our friend Macbeth goes out to meet his foes with sword and shield. He kills young Seward, and he will not yield to anyone, because the witches said no man of woman born can kill him dead. Macduff, however, he survived the raid on his house because he gave young Malcolm aid. He wasn't even there when his family died, and unbeknownst to Mackers, he belied the witch's prophecy by being torn with knife from mother's womb, and thus not born. In those days, the word born meant natural birth. A C-section, as Mackers would unearth, was what it took to make Macduff the one to kill the Scotsman. Thus his wife and son were avenged, and young Malcolm became the king. And that's the play. And so, why does it bring bad luck to name or quote this Shakespeare play? Well, legend has it, back in Shakespeare's day, the incantations used for all the spells of the three witches, all their chants and yells, were taken from real pagans of the day, and those real pagans did not like this play for stealing and misusing all their spells. But cultural appropriation sells, so Shakespeare didn't change it, and therefore the pagans cursed the play forevermore. So anywhere that this play is put on, some tragedy or mishaps put upon the actors or the crew or the whole team who are injured or they'll die, and it would seem claim that throughout history it has been this way. Yes, even going back to Shakespeare's day. It's said the actor playing Lady M just died, and so Shakespeare himself filled in and played the role, and stories just like that have followed the play everywhere it's at. Like in the 30s, it was at the Old Vic, and Laurence Olivier, just in the nick of time, avoided being pulverized by a falling stage weight. Then Miss Bayliss died on dress rehearsal night. So who is that? The manager of the building they were at. And her portrait sat framed upon a wall and fell on opening night, but that's not all. The director and actress playing Lady M were both involved in a car crash. It's grim. I could go on with stories just like this, of times when things went horribly amiss, from history and from many a friend who've done the play, but then this wouldn't end. But here's the thing, I don't really believe in curses or jinxes. As I perceive, it's confirmation bias that's to blame for people buying into this old claim whenever they hear tidings of bad things that happen with this play, because it brings people to form a stronger memory of a dark past. Also, statistically, it's very popular, the Scottish play. It's being produced by someone every day, so it's much more likely something will go bad. And one-time critic Max Beerbohm was mad this play was done so much, and so he said that the First Lady M was just found dead, so he made up that legend. It was he who steeped the play in notoriety, because he just got tired of the play. So fast forward from then until today, add confirmation bias, statistics, the gullibility of some mystics, and also it's so popular to do the Scottish play, and it's lucrative too, that failing theaters who are in debt will do the Scottish play to try to get some easy income, and so when they fail, when all their efforts are to no avail, they file for Chapter 7 and people say, well, it's because they did the Scottish play. Again, that's confirmation bias. So, do I believe there is a curse here? No. But I love theater tradition, and this one can be quite a bit of fun, because when you say Macbeth in a theater, you gotta purge yourself just to make sure that no bad luck will follow you, and so this is the ritual that you must know.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Angels and ministers of grace defend us.
Do that, or some similar form thereof, and then you'll be as pure as a white dove. At least until the next time that you say the name of Shakespeare's cursed Scottish play.